Hello, this is Josh Sayer, and today I'm going to have a great video explaining exactly how you can get in front of 1,000 people as a real estate agent, how much it costs, how to do it, how to be super efficient, and how to turn those 1,000 views of getting in front of people into appointments. So I'm going to be really clear about this, really simple, really easy, and we'll get right into it. So we're going to start with a phrase, CPM. And that is in the online internet advertising space, cost per mil or cost per 1,000 views, right? Now, there's several different ways to get in front of 1,000 people. You can call 1,000 people. You can knock on a bunch of doors and talk to 1,000 people that way. You can hold a bunch of open houses. You can talk to your sphere. You can get in front of 1,000 people via mailing them. And then there's one secret way, which I'll show you after this, that you might not know about, and it's extremely efficient. So let's go down the line. Let's start with cold calling, right? So we got cold calling. And in order to talk to 1,000 people, like in terms of cold calling, you're going to have to make about 13,000 dials. Now, what I found answer rates to be about, okay? So it means you call 1,000 people and 75 will answer. And for the data and the dialer itself, that should cost you about $1,000, maybe more. With a small list, you'd probably have to have quite a huge list, 15,000 person list. Then you're only going to be able to talk to about 7.5% of them if you call all of them straight through. Now let's go down to door knocking. This is pretty inexpensive, right? Door knocking. Pretty inexpensive in terms of there's not really any cost to it in terms of just like gas to get to the places and back. Now, what you are going to pay a lot of is time, because only about 30% of people are even home when you knock on their door. Otherwise, they're at work or they're out and about or running errands or whatever it might be. Maybe 75% will even answer the door, if that. So what you're really getting is about 24% answer rate. And that's why you need 4,444 knocks until you get 1,000 people to answer and actually see your face. So just think about how much time that is. And then if you want to make 4,444 knocks, it takes minimum a minute to make one door knock, because you got to walk, knock, wait, see if they answer, right? So whatever this is times 60 seconds. Doing this live. That's 266,000 seconds. Let's divide by 60 for minutes. That's 4,444 minutes. And then that is 74 hours. So you'd have to door knock for 74 hours straight in order to talk to that number of people. Then let's talk open houses. Again, fairly inexpensive. You might have signage, balloons, maybe some cookies here and there, and then just the gas to get to and from the open houses. But for you to talk to 1,000 people is usually on average 10 people that come through a good open house, and that's not always guaranteed. But if it's 10, you got to hold 100 open houses to talk to 1,000 people. Now, how much time would that take? On average, an open house is about 2 hours times 100. There's 2 hours of actual live time, and that's assuming that someone doesn't show up at the last few seconds of the open house and says, hey, I really want to check this out. I just got here. It's 2:59. You were supposed to close at 3, and so you got to wait for them to be done. So I would say like 3 hours minimum per open house. So that's 300 hours. Now, if you're going crazy, I've done it before where I've held an open house at 10 a.m. to noon, and then 1 to 3, so 2 open houses on Saturday. Same thing on Sunday. So 4 open houses per weekend times 4 weeks in a month. That's 16 per month. We're still like 84 short. So 100 divided by 16. So you'd have to do that for 6.5 months in order to hold 100 open houses. And that's holding 4 a weekend. And you have to do several things. You have to find the open house. You have to hold it open. You got to find multiple, whatever it might be. You got to travel, this, that, and the other. So 6.5 months of hosting 100 open houses and getting hopefully 10 people through, which will equate you getting in front of 1,000 people. Then let's talk sphere. Do you even have 1,000 people in your sphere? Cost per 1,000? Hard to say. Maybe it's emails, maybe it's text messages, but I would imagine it's very low. Can you even do it? Can you even talk to 1,000 people between your Facebook, Instagram, contacts in your phone? Maybe, maybe. And like I said, it should be fairly affordable, but you can only do it kind of once in terms of you can only talk to all those people one time. Then you have to wait, 6 months and then talk to them again. And it's not exactly scalable. Then let's talk mailers. So you got mailers. This might cost $1,000 to send out 2,400 letters, because for mailers there's only a 42% read rate. So think of yourself when you get mail at your home. If it's not something that looks important, you just look at it and toss. So you have to send out 2,400 mailers to get in front of 1,000 people. I'm seeing it like 63 cents per mailer, so that's where I'm getting my $1,000 to get in front of 1,000 people. But here is the secret. And this is going to take about 2 weeks. It's going to take 2 weeks to get those mailers printed, then maybe another 2 weeks to be delivered. If you want to save money, you can have them mailed to you. You can put them together, put the stamps, postage, this, that, and the other, then send them out. I wouldn't recommend that. It's a lot of work. But you're looking at a month to get in front of 1,000 people, and then they'll probably throw it away. It's very expensive to get in front of 1,000 people with mailers. But let's look at something which is almost like a secret weapon, because he said, well, if I look at all these different things, there's not really very many good options, are there? Because they're either really expensive or they take a ton of time, or both. Let's look at something that's very affordable and is way faster. So paid online advertising. Facebook, Instagram, you can even say Google, but I'll just say Facebook and Instagram for now. It is costing me, and I run campaigns for agents all across the country in multiple different markets, and what I'm seeing on average is about $38 to get in front of 1,000 people. Then you think, how long does it take? Because the other things, they took 6 months, like the cold calling, 6.5, 7 months, the mailers, a month, open houses. So all those things take months to get in front of 1,000 people. What would happen with paid advertising? Well, you can get it automatically done in minutes. I had a client today. Actually, this really happened when you started running her ad campaign. We ran the ads. She got in front of over 1,000 people within 3 hours. It was crazy. She got an appointment for $17. Her area is a little bit cheaper, so I think it was $20 to get in front of 1,000 people. She got an appointment. And it was in a matter of minutes in terms of clicking the ad to getting in front of 1,000 people, getting an appointment. And that brings me to my biggest point, which is all of these things are in service of getting appointments. Because appointments, let's redraw this. Appointments are where it's at, right? So appointments are the whole point of why your lead generate, because contacts don't get you paid. Appointments don't get you paid, but they are the best and second best thing, because you need appointments in order to get clients and closings, okay? So the way you get paid is you go on appointments. That is probably the biggest, most advantageous, highest leverage activity you can be doing, is going on appointments. So if you can do all of these things, right, which do you think you would probably choose? The one that's really, really affordable, that you can click on and off instantly, and that you can put video on. You can't do video for mailers or for cold calling or for open houses. There's a lot of this stuff, or door knock. You can't do any of that, right? You can put a video that works 24/7, that people can see for very little money all the time, and you can scale it up. So if you want to get in front of 100,000 people, well, you just scale up the spending. Most of you who are watching this video live in a town that either has around 100,000 people or more. There's no other way that I put on the list besides paid ads. Okay, so yeah, You can do all of this for, weeks and weeks and months, or you can do the paid ads, which is far cheaper to get in front of 1,000 people. And obviously, like I was saying, the ideal is to get appointments. If you can get appointments, you can turn that into business, because if you start getting appointments, what that's going to turn into buyers and listings, because 25% of buyers need to sell and vice versa. 25% of sellers need to buy. So everything comes from appointments. And the more people you get in front of, the more appointments you're going to have. And that's going to lead to more closings. And more closings equals money. So hopefully that was helpful. I do appreciate your time. Subscribe, like, share, comment below, and let me know what's your favorite way of getting appointments. I'll see you in the next video.